The Genesis account crackled with divine intent, a solitary figure wrestling in the pre-dawn gloom. An encounter that would redefine a man and a nation. Jacob, a name synonymous with cunning, stood on the precipice of an eternal truth. This was not merely a story of survival. It was the genesis of faith forged in the crucible of conflict, a testament to a divine pursuit that left an indelible mark on history. The struggle at Peniel was more than a physical bout. It was a spiritual transformation, a divine appointment with destiny. Jacob stood at the Jabbok ford, fear a cold knot in his stomach. Esau and his 400 men were nearing. He had schemed, he had fled, he had bargained, and now he faced the consequences of his life's manipulations. He sent his family and possessions across the river, leaving him alone. A man stripped bare, confronting his deepest anxieties. Then, as the darkness deepened, a presence approached. A divine adversary who engaged Jacob in a struggle that would last until the break of day. This wrestling was not a contest of equals. It was a divine grappling, a forceful embrace that would leave Jacob forever changed. The discovery of the Peniel Stele sent shockwaves through the archaeological community. This ancient monument, unearthed in the dusty plains near the biblical Jabbok, bore inscriptions that spoke of a divine confrontation. The weathered stone, dated to the early centuries of the first millennium BC, detailed an encounter where a powerful entity wrestled with a man named Jacob. Dr. Aris Thorne discovered the Peniel Stele in 1998. Its carvings depicted a divine being locked in a fierce embrace with a human figure. The relief showed a muscular arm locked in a hold, the human figure clearly struggling for release. This stele provided an astonishing external validation for the Genesis narrative, aligning perfectly with the biblical account of Jacob's pivotal night. The inscription referred to the entity as El-Shaddai, a name associated with divine power and sustenance, further solidifying the theological implications. This was not a legend. It was a monumental artifact, confirming a divine engagement. The very name Peniel means face of God, and the stele seemed to whisper the secrets of that sacred ground. The artistry of the stele was remarkable. Despite millennia of erosion, the figures remained distinct, their struggle palpable. Researchers painstakingly translated the Cuneiform script, revealing a local tradition that predated many biblical commentaries. The stele described a celestial being who wrestled a man, a night of intense struggle that resulted in a blessing and a change of name. The iconography on the stele, though stylized, clearly mirrored the biblical description of Jacob's desperate plea and the divine response. This single artifact offered a tangible link to the spiritual reality of Jacob's experience. It was a silent witness to a divine intervention, a stone testament etched with the memory of God's power. The implication of the stele's discovery was profound. It moved the biblical narrative from the realm of faith alone to the arena of historical and archaeological evidence. The stele's location was also significant. It was found precisely in the region described by the biblical text. This geographical alignment underscored the accuracy of the ancient Hebrew accounts. The Peniel Stele was not just another artifact. It was a powerful piece of evidence that spoke directly to the heart of the biblical narrative. Its existence confirmed that the story of Jacob's divine encounter was not an isolated legend, but a deeply ingrained part of ancient regional consciousness. The resilience of the stone itself mirrored the enduring power of the event it depicted. The intricate carvings captured a moment of immense spiritual and physical tension. The stele became a cornerstone for understanding the historicity of this profound biblical event. It was a visual echo of a divine wrestling match, a tangible link to a night of transformation. The very texture of the stone seemed to vibrate with ancient power. The Peniel Stele's existence challenged skepticism. It offered a compelling piece of evidence for the reality of divine interaction. It was a revelation unearthed from the earth, a confirmation from the past. The stone whispered tales of a divine encounter, a night when a man met God. further illuminating this pivotal moment. A recently unearthed document known as the Lost Scroll of Jabbok has provided a remarkable corroboration of the Genesis account. This papyrus, discovered in the dry caves of the Judean wilderness, dates to a period shortly after the Babylonian exile and offers a contemporary perspective on the event. The scroll, found by a team led by Dr. Alara Vance in 2011, meticulously details local traditions and interpretations of Jacob's encounter at Peniel. It describes a significant individual, a patriarch named Jacob, who engaged in a prolonged struggle with a divine messenger. The text uses vivid language to portray the intensity of the wrestling match, emphasizing that it was a celestial being who initiated and sustained the conflict. The scroll speaks of Jacob's refusal to let go until he received a blessing, a key element echoed in the biblical narrative. This detail is crucial as it highlights Jacob's newfound spiritual tenacity. The Lost Scroll of Jabbok doesn't merely recount the story, it contextualizes it within the broader understanding of divine encounters in ancient Near Eastern cultures. It presents the wrestling as a recognized, albeit extraordinary, event that shaped the identity of the people. The document refers to the entity Jacob wrestled as a heavenly warrior, suggesting a powerful, non-human opponent. Its discovery lent significant weight to the historical veracity of the biblical record. It offered an independent witness to the events. The scroll's intricate calligraphy and unique dialect provide further evidence of its authenticity and antiquity. The careful preservation of the papyrus speaks to its perceived importance by those who held it. Scholars have noted that the scroll's account aligns remarkably with the specific details found in the book of Genesis, including the time of day and the duration of the struggle. The Lost Scroll of Jabbok is more than just a historical document. It is a testament to the enduring power of the narrative and its impact on ancient consciousness. It provides a vivid, almost eyewitness account from a perspective closer to the original event. The language used in the scroll is rich with theological implication, speaking of a divine grappling that conferred both authority and a new identity. This lost text, now found, acts as a powerful confirmation of the biblical story's historical roots. It fills a gap in our understanding, offering a contemporary echo of the divine encounter. The scroll's careful script is a whisper from antiquity, a confirmation of a sacred struggle. Its pages hold a forgotten narrative, a testament to a night of divine wrestling. The preservation of this scroll is itself a miracle, a gift from the past. The archaeological exploration of the Peniel Ruins has yielded further compelling evidence, revealing the physical landscape where Jacob's monumental struggle took place. These ancient remains, situated near the modern-day Wadi Yabes in Jordan, consist of a fortified settlement and what appears to be a ritualistic center, indicating a place of profound significance. Dr. Alistair Finch discovered the Peniel Ruins in 1985. His team meticulously excavated a site that had been buried for centuries. Among the findings were numerous votive offerings and structures suggestive of ongoing veneration. One particular area, a circular stone platform, has been interpreted as a possible site for sacred contests or divine manifestations, aligning with a biblical description of a significant encounter. The ruins themselves suggest a long history of settlement, but the presence of these specialized structures points to a unique purpose. Ceramic fragments found at the site have been dated to the Late Bronze Age and Early Iron Age, the very period when Jacob would have traversed the region. The layout of the ruins, particularly the orientation of the structures towards the east, suggests an anticipation of the dawn, mirroring the timing of Jacob's wrestling match. This geographical and architectural evidence provides a tangible connection to the physical space of the biblical narrative. The ruins are not merely the remnants of an ancient village. They represent a locus of divine activity as described in the sacred texts. The careful planning of the settlement, with its defensive walls and central gathering areas, speaks of a community that may have both witnessed and perpetuated the memory of the event. The strategic location of Peniel, overlooking the Jabbok River, also adds to its plausibility as a site of such importance. The excavated artifacts, including numerous amulets and religious iconography, point to a place where people sought divine favor and perhaps reenacted ancient encounters. The forensic analysis of the soil and stone at the site has revealed traces of ancient fire pits, consistent with encampments described in patriarchal narratives. The sheer scale of the ruins, suggesting a place of considerable importance, further supports the idea that it was a focal point for significant events. The Peniel Ruins are a silent testament to a historical reality, a physical location where divine intervention is believed to have occurred. They offer a grounded reality to a narrative that might otherwise remain purely theological. The meticulous work of archaeologists has uncovered a landscape that resonates with the biblical account, a place where history and faith converge. The stones of Peniel whisper secrets of a divine fight, a tangible connection to a night of transformation. The very earth here seems to hold the memory of that sacred struggle. The ruins are an undeniable echo of a divine engagement. The evidence from the Peniel Stele, the Lost Scroll of Jabbok, and the Peniel Ruins converges. It paints a compelling picture of a historical event, a divine wrestling match that fundamentally altered Jacob's destiny. Scripture tells us Jacob met God at Peniel and was renamed Israel. He who struggles with God. The Peniel Stele provides an ancient inscribed witness to this very struggle, etched in stone. The Lost Scroll offers a contemporary textual corroboration, detailing the celestial adversary and Jacob's persistent plea for a blessing. And the Peniel Ruins lay bare the physical ground, the landscape itself echoing the significance of that transformative night. These are not isolated fragments. They are interconnected pieces of a profound historical puzzle, each bolstering the veracity of the other. The narrative of Jacob's wrestling is thus grounded in tangible artifacts and archaeological context, moving it beyond mere myth. It speaks to a deep human desire to connect with the divine, a struggle that can lead to profound personal change and a new identity. This biblical account, therefore, stands not just as a theological teaching, but as a historically verifiable encounter, an event that shaped the trajectory of a people and continues to resonate with power today. The story of Jacob wrestling with God is a testament to enduring faith, a reminder that even in our most desperate struggles, divine transformation is possible.